Hey there, and welcome to today's Explainer. So today we're tackling something that honestly sounds way more intimidating than it actually is, the cloud. I know, it sounds super vague and highly technical, but trust me, we're going to turn it into a totally accessible, really powerful tool for your everyday life. By the end of our time together, Google Drive is basically going to become your ultimate digital workspace.
To keep things super simple, we'll follow a quick 5-step agenda today. First, welcome to the cloud. Next, navigating your workspace. Then, managing your files, creating Google Files, and finally, sharing and collaborating. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1. Welcome to the cloud, understanding the basics. Let's just define what the Google Suite actually is. The absolute best part? It's completely free. And because it lives entirely in the cloud, you don't need to install or buy any expensive software. Honestly, with just an internet connection, you have everything you need right at your fingertips.
Now, we really need to clear up a common hurdle right out of the gate, and that's confusing Google Drive with Google Docs. Think of Google Drive as your giant online storage cabinet. It holds absolutely everything: videos, photos, spreadsheets, you name it. Google Docs, on the other hand, is simply one of the word processing apps you use to create text files inside that cabinet. So Drive is the house, and Docs is just a tool inside the toolbox. Make sense?
Moving right along to Section 2, navigating your workspace, mapping the territory.
Logging in for the first time can definitely feel a little overwhelming, but the interface is actually broken down into 3 really clean, concrete regions. Whenever you open Google Drive, you've got the left panel for navigation, the center panel where your actual files live, and a right panel that acts as an information hub. Breaking it down like this instantly cuts through all that visual clutter.
Okay, let's look at that left panel. This is essentially your command center. You have My Drive, which holds everything you've personally created or uploaded. Then there's Shared With Me, which is a total lifesaver for finding files other people have sent your way. Recent pulls up what you were just working on. Starred is for your absolute most critical items. And of course, the trash bin for when you need to clean house. Because, let's be real, we all have those files named draft_final_v2_actually_final.
Now you can toggle that right panel open using the little I or info buttons. When you select a file and pop this open, you basically get to spy on its background. The Details tab tells you exactly who owns it, where it lives, and when it was last modified. Swap over to the Activity tab, and you get this complete history of exactly who accessed the file and what changes they made. It's incredibly handy.
All right, Section 3, managing your files, taking control.
We've mapped the territory, so now let's talk organization. The absolutely crucial point here is this motto: where you are is where it happens. Simply put, whenever you upload or create a file, always navigate to the exact folder you want it to live in before you take action. Trust me, it saves you the massive headache of hunting down misplaced files later on.
So to bring a file from your computer, like say from a really messy downloads folder, into the cloud, just follow this flow. First, navigate to your target folder. Hit that big New button, select File Upload, pick your file, and click Open. And boom, just like that, it's safely backed up to the cloud. Once your files are in Drive, simply single-click on any file, and this really dynamic toolbar appears near the top of your screen. It gives you instant power over that specific file. Without even opening the document, you can grab a shareable link, send it to a colleague, preview it to see what it actually is, or just delete it outright.
And hey, speaking of deleting, do not panic if you make a mistake. The cloud is amazingly forgiving. If you accidentally hit that trash can, just navigate to the trash folder, find your file, and hit Restore. Your hard work is completely safe. Plus, that activity icon we talked about earlier is always there to let you review past changes if something goes awry.
Moving on to Section 4, creating Google Files, building from scratch. Let's transition from managing existing files to creating brand new ones. Remembering our motto, use the address bar at the top like a trail of breadcrumbs. Notice how it confirms we are deep inside the Docs folder, which is nested inside the Google Suite class folder. You always want to verify your location using these breadcrumbs before you ever hit that New button.
Once you're perfectly positioned and you click New, you unlock the core apps, and each one serves a really unique purpose. You have Google Docs for word processing, Google Sheets for data tracking and crunching numbers, and Google Slides for visual presentations. And honestly, the best part? Because they're cloud native, they auto-save constantly. You are literally never going to lose progress to a computer crash again. It's a huge game changer.
Now, what if you have a bunch of old Microsoft Office files lying around? Well, fun fact, it is no problem at all.
You can upload them straight to Drive, double-click them, and safely edit them right there. You even have the option to hit Save as Google Docs to completely convert your old Word or Excel files without losing a single drop of your hard work.
And that brings us to our final step, Section 5, Sharing and Collaborating, Connecting with the World.
This is where the cloud truly becomes magical. But before you share anything, it's absolutely vital to understand the hierarchy of permissions so you stay in total control. When you share a file, you decide the access level. An editor can change anything in the document. A commenter can't alter your text, but they can leave helpful notes on the side. And a viewer gets read-only access. They can look, but they definitely can't accidentally mess up your project. You also have two distinct ways to invite people in. If you know exactly who needs access, use a direct email invite. It's secure, it's targeted, and it sends an invite straight to their inbox. On the other hand, if you're posting to a website or putting a QR code on a flyer, you can generate a shareable link. This is brilliant for granting broad access when you don't necessarily know everyone's email address up front.
Okay, a quick pro tip before we wrap things up. If you really want to fly through your workspace, try this keyboard shortcut. Just press the Control key and the / key together anywhere in Drive. It instantly pops open a master menu of every keyboard shortcut available. Once you memorize a few of your favorites, it will drastically speed up your daily workflow.
Wow, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground today, from basic navigation all the way to sharing permissions. So I want to leave you with this final thought. With these free, incredibly powerful tools now at your fingertips, how will mastering the cloud change the way you work, organize your life, and collaborate tomorrow? Seriously, don't wait. Log into your Drive right now, create a folder, and start building your ultimate workspace. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy organizing.